The claims, opinions, and representations herein are solely those of the presenters. Team Diamond makes no warranty expressed or implied for any purpose as the contents herein or the claims, opinions, or representations of the presenters.
During the Diamond Blitz in Seattle, Washington, Royal Diamond Wellness Consultant Reid Nelson did just a great talk about leading with the business. Team Diamond would like to thank Diamond Consultant Chuck Branham for recording it from the audience and for passing his tape along. And now, here's Reid.
You've probably never seen me dressed like this before. If you went into my closet in my home, you'd see I have a really big closet. And you ladies would all be totally jealous. My wife has a bigger closet. And hers is full, and mine definitely is not. I have like a bunch of dress shirts and like 4 or 5 suits, and that's it. And the rest are in these drawers. I have about 25 pair of jeans, tennis shoes, and white socks, and that's really me. Polo shirts, stuff like that. But I didn't realize, I have to be honest with you, when I packed yesterday, I made 2 really major mistakes. And number 1 was I forgot to put underwear in there. That makes you stay away from me really well. Thank goodness for deodorant. And I just went in the closet and threw in a pair of jeans. I didn't realize that they have a big tear in them. So I decided this morning when I got up, I told Ed last night, let's dress down. Let's relax. You know? I didn't realize how far we were going down. Because I told him, I said, as soon as I leave here, I got to drive home. I got to date my wife at 5 o'clock, and I want to get home, so I wasn't going to take time to get dressed, so I just thought I'd go like this. All right. Yeah. Nobody really cares, right? No. Dave Johnson's been doing it for years. Well, you know, we've heard a lot of great things, haven't we? You guys had an awesome week. We did the same thing in Portland last week. Had a great time. Saw a lot of new people very, very fast, and that's what this is all about. You know, because if you need, Bruce was sitting back there in the back with me for a second. You know, I want to tell these people they need to lead with the business, because whenever we lead with the product, what we get is customers, and that's good. We want customers, but it's really hard to go back and get that customer to get in. They usually don't. And so I want to talk a couple minutes about. You know, we talked Patrick was incredible today, wasn't he? Yeah. What a comedy guy. You got to go to a club somewhere. You know? But you know what? We talked a lot about features and benefits, right? But we have the biggest benefit in the world with money. Could that benefit any of you right now?
Oh, yeah.
In any way, shape, or form? What do we have here? This is so big that some of us, and I'm not going to put myself in this category, but some of us are playing with this. I'm the guy who's supposed to close and get excited. I think I'm going to beat you up instead. Just feel it in my bones. Here it comes. We had fun last night. We got to get serious today, right? Guys, what do we have here? How many of you drive a neat Kent car? Stand up. Neat Kent car people. And shout out what you're driving.
BMW 740iL.
BMW 740iL, just one of the cheaper cars in the lot, right?
I drive it too.
You drive it too? Right on! Yeah! You got to drive more than you do. Yes?
Acura RL.
Acura RL.
Lexus 400.
Lexus 400. Woo. What's Miata? Tahoe.
Chrysler 300 Special Edition.
Ooh, those are nice, big boats. They float down the road, Herb. Don't let that pick on you. Some people are short, some people are tall. It has its benefits, right? Yeah.
Ford Expedition.
Ford.
Eddie Bauer edition.
Ooh, an Eddie Bauer Ford Expedition. Yep. Bourbon. I got one of those too, by golly. Yes.
2002 Lexus ES300.
Ooh, an ES300, yes.
Toyota Solara.
Toyota Solara.
A couple times a month I drive my wife's Cadillac.
Is that a benefit?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to get really crazy here because, you know, I have 9 cars. 2 motorcycles, 4 Wave Brothers, and a whole bunch of other junk. I can't figure it out. It's all stuck somewhere. He's going, yeah, over here, over here. Can you adopt me? Why? Niken supplies that. I live in a house that in 1 year, we had 5 of us at home. Now there's 2, Yvonne and I. Everybody left in 1 year. Boom, everybody's gone. Live in an 8,200 square foot house on a beautiful piece of land, and it's just gorgeous. And we really don't need all that space. But you know what it does? It motivates the heck out of people when they come up to the house. It does. I don't need that. I like it. How many of you like movies? There's nothing on television. Do you like movies? Yeah. When we were at the Awards of Excellence in California, they finished our movie theater when we were gone. You know? It's got that 92-inch screen with the surround sound. And you know when you walk in the movie theater, it has sconces on the wall? And they're kind of built on little walls that come out a little bit, and those sconces. We have those, and they dim, and they come up, all remote control, of course. You know? It was there for 2 weeks before we watched a movie in it.
Because you were playing with the lights.
But I was playing with the lights a lot. We went down to the Lazy Boy showroom. We bought 6 recliners. They all massage and they all heat. So if you can stay awake during the movie, you'll enjoy it. We probably showed 100 people the theater before we watched a movie in it. It motivated them. It excited them to see what they might be able to do. I drove up my NSX, my old yellow sports car. I just love it. It gets lots of looks and stuff. And people say, man, those are expensive. Yes. And it's my 4th one. I just keep going back. I just love them. I won't buy nothing else. I have to have, everybody has to have 2 Mercedes-Benzes, don't they? Well, yeah, one's dirty. You got to drive a clean one. The Niken cars, one of those little SLK 320 convertible sports cars. It's cool. Now, how many face patches is it going to take? I don't know. But I know this. It's all about focus. It's not about the money, really. But I said last night, some of you weren't here, I talked about with some people on the phone this week, and they were all into the noble things. I'm excited about those things. I'm excited to be able to help people. We're excited to reach out to others. We're excited to do all those things. But dang it, you guys, if you can't pay your bills, let's make some money. Agreed?
Yeah.
So what we have to do, how many of you are not silvers yet? You are not silver. Do you want to be one?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do whatever it takes to do that?
Yeah.
Well, what does it take to do that? We got to talk to somebody. We got to go. We got to open our mouth. We got to say, "Hey, I work with a company called Niken. Ever heard of it? Can you do that?" Don't dump all over about, "Oh man, magnets, man, you're going to be floating about 4 inches off the ground. You're going to feel all the tingling and stuff." Who cares? But look for the benefits. You're going to sleep better. You're going to make some money in your life. My kids. I loved Mr. Watanabe's speech at the Awards of Excellence. How many of you got to see it at the product line? Some of us were there. It was wonderful I wish I could quote it. I don't recall exactly what he said. But he talked about passing our business to our children and then passing their business to their children. That motivates me. To have something that's valuable and have something that's good passed on to a new generation. But I don't want my kids just to have it because they wouldn't know what to do with it. So, therefore, it's a requirement. They get in Niken. They build to silver and beyond. One of our kids is already a silver. The others are just getting started. We're excited about that. We want them to have their own customers. We want them to be able to develop their people. Because at some point down the road, our business is going to be their business. And they have to know what to do with it. You want to go silver quick? See 30 people very fast. I know that's scary people, but it's better than seeing hundreds. Could you all see 30 people in a month? I know you could. There's no question you could. You know, we all love these shoes, don't we?
Yeah.
These are great. But what's the little circle right in the middle of Kendall Cho's success wheel? It's called the rollout. Do not lose focus on the rollout. Because when you do those, you change people's lives. We have a new group right in your backyard. Well, not right in your backyard. We're out in Aberdeen, Washington. I sponsored the guy who sells me all my cars. He says, no, I'm kind of sick of this deal. He told me, I'm sick of delivering your cars. Because what I do anymore is I just say, here's what I want, we'll bring it up. A couple of years ago, I said, bring me a Corvette. He did. And I decided I didn't like it. Took it back. Figured in on something quicker. But he said, I'm so tired of watching you do this. I said, well, what are you going to do about it? And I just smiled at him. And he said, well, I think we should talk. I said, okay. Well, he got in. I do an in-home meeting about every other week in Aberdeen, Washington now with that guy. And you know what we're doing? We're rolling back. We're having fun. We're just, and you know what? Some of us are so structured that it's just sickening. You're doing an in-home like a wellness preview. Have fun with people. They don't want to be preached at. Have fun. I mean, we had a platinum of William Todd's with us here a few weeks ago after the thing in L.A. in January. And he spent 2 days with me and 2 days with William. He went home going, wow, you really do those things. I said, yeah. We walked into this guy's house up in Aberdeen, and I turned to the in-home meeting. We did the in-home meeting, and he had about 4 guests there, which was great. And it was really structured. There was 3 ladies and a man, and one of the ladies and the man were married, and we were talking, and I just gave a little background about me, Ken, and what we were doing. We all sat in a chair. We weren't preaching at them. We were up talking like this. We were just talking. And one lady said, well, I hear this product's really, really great. I said, well, yeah, want me to show you? Well, yeah, I like that. So I got the pad out, and we rolled her out right then and there. We just stopped what we were doing and did it. Wow, he was great. Then they all wanted it. Then they got that. But her husband sat there like a lot of positive husbands. She's one of those people that was very, alive. And you could see this woman on stage. She was just all over the place. This was Trish all over. I was excited. That's good. How many want to Trish Wickland? Yeah, I'll take it. Well, I'll take one. No problem. So she was excited. But the husband was kind of he said he was a forestry engineer. I said, oh, you're a lumberjack. Okay, good. I just offended half the guys in the room. Anyway, he said, well, yeah, sort of, and I said, well, you're next. He said, no, I don't want to do that. I could see he was really stiffening up on me. Okay, fine, whatever. And I skipped over him. And but she signed up that night. The other 2 people signed up that night. They were all excited about it. And the next 2 weeks later, I went back, and here was her and him again. And I said, are you ready this time? Well, I don't know, rah, rah, rah. And I said, listen, Daryl here, my buddy Daryl, he needs to practice. Just lay down and do it. Oh. So he lays down. Daryl's rolling him out. Oh, my gosh. This guy just turned. It was like, well, I don't know if we're going to do this very well, but I got to have that pillow, that quilt, and that bed. The rollout is magic. We got to put the magic in this thing. Don't take shortcuts. These shoes, the cream, all those things we talk about, all the door openers are great, but don't forget to get them in the house once you open the door. Yeah. You know what? If every one of your distributors bought a demo pack, career pack, and a pair of shoes, your orders would be a lot bigger, wouldn't they? They'd be a lot bigger. Somebody said, in the beginning, how'd you do that? Everybody bought at least one demo pack. Well, we had a demo pack in those days. So, but most people bought 2. Well, it was $1,000. You think the volume was bigger? Well, I really am uncomfortable talking about that kind of money. Well, get over it. You gotta have. A little louder, Claudia.
Amen.
Well, we're at church now. You want to have a growing business? You got to do it right. Now, there's all kinds of ways to skin the cat. But if you're going to talk to somebody about this, and I know that everybody does not have the money. I already know that. This is America. They can find the money. If they really want to do it, they can find it. What relatives are for crying out loud. Borrow their money. That's what we did. Of course, I already borrowed my relatives' money. That's nothing left to give me. I have to go to the friends then. Some of you are afraid to talk to those relatives and friends. I already know that. Well, I don't know. I'd rather talk to a stranger. Shame on you. These people need what we have. They need our product. They need our business. Not a brother. I still have a brother. You ever heard the story about Shar and Denny and my brother? No? My brother is now a long-haul truck driver for UPS. He runs Portland to Seattle every day. That's it. On a triple trailer rig, up and back. That's it. That's what he does. He just puts that thing in cruise control, goes straight back and forth every day. That's all he does. When he was a package delivery guy, he used to have a route that took him down on Northeast Sandy Boulevard in Portland. And he used to deliver packages to a guy who used to be in the sheet metal business, make gutters. Jenny Rogers, Jenny and Shar. And one day, Shar pulled out the tape. He said, you know, you work hard. I mean, UPS drivers work hard. Man, that's hard work. He says, would you be interested in looking at something if I showed it to you? He was being polite. He said, oh, sure. And he hands her a tape. He said, would you listen to this and get back to me and tell me what you think? He said, sure. He looked at this tape and he started to laugh. She says, what's so funny? He says, I know this guy. It was my tape. She says, well, who's this? He says, this is my brother, Reid. And you're not in Deep 10? What's wrong with you? That's what she said. It's not for everybody, is it? Now my brother's in that. It took a long time, but he's in that. I'm so excited about that. Because it took me 6 years to get a relative, so don't give up on your relative. Now all my relatives are one leg, very manageable. I don't have to see him much. It's great. That's not nice. Anyway, I love them to death, but they're all in one spot, nice and contained. Sponsored the guy in Denver, Colorado last year. I've known the kid for years. I think I've known him since he was, he's 35 now, and I've known him since he was about 15, so I've known him a while, 20 years. He called us up last summer on his way through. Him and his wife were taking a vacation. They were going up to Canada to do some traveling, and they said, hey, we're coming through Portland. Can we stop and see you? I said, yeah, please. Haven't seen him in years. And I gave him the address and some instructions. The last time he saw us, we were living in an apartment. And I told him nothing. And so he drives up and he presses the button at the gate because it just anybody can't just walk in. You have to go through. My wife feels very secure now. You have to go through 2 gates to get to her house. Besides the armed guards and the go-away IRS sign. I'm kidding. So he comes and he rings the bell, and we can open the gate. And comes in. He says, "Well, Ken's done good, huh?" Yeah, it's treated us really well. We're really happy. Turned out to kind of low key a little bit. So he stayed with us for a couple of days. And on his way out the door, after a lot of discussion and things, didn't roll him out, nothing. Didn't even talk with him. Just had fun together. And went out to dinner, just played. I said, Rick, are you into computers? He said, yeah. I said, great. And I pulled out that Niken presentation CD-ROM, which all should be using for the computer freaks of the world. They love that stuff. And I said, would you get into this when you have a minute? He said, yeah, I would. Because you see, what I didn't tell you was that 11 years and 4 months ago, when we first signed up to the Niken business, this guy was in with us. He was one of the first people we sponsored. And his life, as does sometimes, life got in the way. Some very, very serious challenges happened, and he didn't ever get negative, he just kind of faded away, He took that thing home, and he calls me a couple days later and says, I want to get back in. I said, great. He says, I want to do that 21 Club. Now, I didn't even talk to him about 21 Club. He said, I wouldn't even know about 21 Club. He was in the computer looking around at all this stuff, incentives and things. I said, okay, but I said, I'll tell you what, I'm really stretched for time, because, being sponsored by somebody like us could be a blessing or a curse, because of our time schedule sometimes. And so I said, I got 2 days right here. And I said, so you want to do 21? I said, you got to do it in these 2 days. That's all I got. He said, okay. So we took a couple days off work. It's a training tip. You got vacation? Take some. It's okay. Some of you think you have to take vacation to go play. Take vacation to go to work. Yeah. It's a new concept. All there. So we take this 2 days off. I fly in. Actually, it's about 2.5 days. And he set up 30 appointments.
Sorry to interrupt, but the rest of Reid's talk's on the other side, so please fast forward to the end and turn the cassette over.
Two and a half days, set him up all at his house, so we just had this continual revolving door going on, and some of them didn't show up. Can you believe that? Don't they know who I am? For crying out loud. How rude. 24 did. Wow. I was amazed and shocked. Because I kind of set him up. Well, you might want to be prepared to, if you invited 30 to see 10. Wrong. 24 showed up. And we rolled them all out. We talked about the business. I want to give you a little training tip right here on how I set up that conversation. Because it is never the same for me. These people were all told something to come to his house. And I started out just that way. I said, well, obviously you talked to Rick a little bit before this happened. I said, what do you want to know from me? How can I help you? That's how I started them off. Because you know what? Some of the people, and it just went that way. Well, you know what? Rick says there's a lot of money to be made in this business. Yeah, there is. There is. Let's sit down and talk about it. We go to the kitchen table. We kind of talk about the marketing plan and how you can make some money and do these things. And then we get to the floor and we roll them out because if he doesn't like the products, he's not going to get in anyway, right? And some of those people would say, well, you know what? I hear this product's unbelievable. Great, it really is. And we start with the product on the floor. But we end up at the table doing the marketing plan. You see, the problem is sometimes we do 21 clubs and things. It's all about product. In my opinion, a 21 club ought to be 21 full meal deals about the product and the business and the whole deal. Well, we missed the 21 club. We got all the stuff done, but we were right at the end of the month and missed the days and it floated away and we didn't get the recognition of the $5,000. But let me tell you the good news. The good news was that 5 people did get in over the next month out of that group, got involved as wellness consultants, and we had $14,000 of volume out of that group. Now, his first check was not bad, just under $1,000. That was great. We told him up front, we want you to join us or we want you to become a customer. You make the choice, but that's what we want. And as a friend of Rick's, I expect you to at least listen and look. You see, some of you won't say that. You've got to get right there in their face. Listen, as a friend of ABC, right? Chuck is a very close friend of Claudia. I would expect you to at least listen to her. Is that fair? Yes. By the way, that's the greatest clothes in the world. Is that fair? I want you to take a look at the business, take a look at the product, and then make a decision. Join us, become a customer. Is that fair? Certainly it's fair. The nicest, easiest clothes in the world is right there in your face. So you're going, yeah, but I just can't do that. Get over it. Do it. Force yourself to do these things. Now, Rick got very sick right after that. Had a huge kidney problem. He ended up in the hospital for a month. And all types of things happened, and we lost the momentum we had. All those things. In fact, they're doing a silver training in Colorado right now, where he's at his first silver training. Very excited about that. But you know what happened? We got him a check. We got him a check fast. And now he knows he can do it. Regardless of how long it might take him now to rebuild and do the things we started, it's no big deal to him. So we did it. We did it 2.5 days. Then it would have been following up and things like that. Folks, when you sponsor somebody new, work very hard to get them a check. Get them a check fast. Is that important? Because if they don't get a check, it drags on for months and months and months. No matter how much they love your product, they're leaving. I don't want your people to leave. Has anybody ever quit in your business yet? Has anybody had anybody get in your business yet? Certainly you have. And some of them disappoint you, don't they? Well, then replace them. Replace them. We've got 10 new legs last year, and I think, I'm not 100% sure yet, but out of those 10, we're going to have 2 good ones. 2. I'm excited about that, too. Those guys have diamond potential. I'm very excited about that. I'll sponsor 10 every year to find 2 diamonds, wouldn't you? Yeah. You're not doing it. You got to get out of here, don't we? Oh, we don't? Okay, fine. But 3 hours. Let's go. Well, honestly, there's 2 things that got to happen here, and they come down to one word. And I talked about it last night. It's called the magic. The magic. You got to be a magician, and I mean this sincerely. You got to have the magic. When you first get in this business, and your excitement level is way up here, regardless of what your personality is like, you have the magic. It's a natural attraction. It's natural. It's not something. And the more you learn, the worse you get. Absolute truth. The more knowledge you have, you lose the magic. That magic is 2 things. It's true sincerity and genuine enthusiasm. You have that, you don't need knowledge. You'll be a natural magnet. You will attract people to you. We had that. I was so excited. I knew that I knew. Remember we talked about that? I just knew that I knew. God said, this is you, baby. You need to do this. When the man speaks, you listen. Have you ever not listened? That's not good. That's not good. I knew that I knew. And so I went out the door, and we talked to a lot of people very, very fast. And when we said this, you know what, we just got involved with a company called Neat. You never heard of it? No, what's it all about? You know, or when I'd say, listen, something I'm very excited about, Chuck, I want you to join me. Now the problem is, shut up. After you drop the question, be quiet. Let them reply. See if they chase you a little bit. I'd say, Chuck, I just got involved with a company called Neat. You ever heard of it? And you'd say, no. I'd say, look, it's something I'm really excited about. I want you to join me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was easy, wasn't it? And then we'll all do that. Yeah, right. And what would you normally say? What would you ask me?
What's it all about?
Exactly. What's it all about? What are you selling? Whatever. Some kind of a question's coming back. You gently put them in the corner by saying, I want you to join me. I didn't say I want to sell you something. I didn't tell you about magnets. I didn't say nothing about anything. It's something I'm excited about. I want you to join me. Well, what's it all about? Well, this company markets sleep systems and massage devices and all types of things to help you have less stress in your life. You got stress in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. But that's not really not what I want to talk to you about, Chuck. What I want to talk to you about how you fit in it with me. But if you don't like the products, obviously you wouldn't join me anyway. Am I right? So give me an hour. We want to sit down with you. I'll show you the products and make sure you like that. We'll show you how you fit in with me in the business. And if you like what you see, we've got a whole lot more to talk about. If you don't like what you see, I want you to at least become a customer. And as a friend, I expect you to at least look. Fair enough? Right. That's what we did. And out of 226, 101 said they would. 27 said no. And they're still wondering why. 54 became customers. 20 did get in. 4 are millionaires today, and we're glad we had that first month. But you know what? It's not about what we did 11 years ago. It's about what we're doing now. Because you know what? Sometimes you get in management at all these levels. You go out, babysit all your people, do all that stuff. We don't want to do that because you lose your edge when you're not working. You got to keep working, keep sponsoring people, putting that new energy out there, being excited. I've been accused of that. I could be arrested for being excited. Convicted. Guilty as charged, whatever. But you know what? Some of you need that. Now, it doesn't matter what your personality is. Now, Chuck, I've talked about Chuck. Oh, you don't want to know that. Chuck's excitement level and mine are in totally different spheres. And I love Chuck. Don't get me wrong. I know Chuck's a good friend. I love him to death. But you know what? When Chuck's friends, and you, Claudia, when he gets excited, you know it. I would look at Chuck and go, man, wake this guy up. I don't mean that disrespectfully in any way. But it's the matter, everybody's demeanor, everybody's excitement levels are different, right? But the people that know these people know when they're excited. Because you know what? When you have somebody who's really low-key and quite quiet, and they go, wow, and they raise their eyebrows, you go, wow, what can I do? Now, somebody like me, it takes a lot more to do that. So at your own level, at your personality, be excited, be enthusiastic, go out and talk to people. Who cares what they think? If I'm worried about what other people think, we'd be broke. We've been broke. Yuck! I've told you that story about our boat, right? Took a boat to our house. We've been broke, we've been wealthy. We voted to stay wealthy. It was better. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very grateful that my children have seen us down because they know the difference and they appreciate it. And they know that there's work to be done. They know that we're not perfect by any stretch of imagination, believe me. How many of you had teenagers in your life? What a life to get through. Anyway, so... But they understand the difference. They know there's hard work involved. They know that all those things. But you know what? It's a good thing that we go through trials to get good. But some of you aren't willing to pay that price yet. And we need to do that. No, wait, that's wrong. You're going to want to do that. You don't need to do anything. And all you need to do is get up in the morning, breathe. Well, that check your pulse and see if you're still here. Okay, that would be existing. But don't you want to live? Wouldn't it be fun to live? I get up. People say, "What do you do with all those cars?" I get up and make a choice. Yeah, you have a big motorcycle, right? Big old hog Harley. Seen the pictures of you and Ginger on the Harleys and stuff. And how come you have that? What's it like, Ed, to drive down the highway, and I understand the law and all that, without a helmet on? Oh, you didn't have a helmet on there? I hate helmets. They're horrible, but they're good for your head. But when you're driving down the road in the Harley with the wind blowing, how does that feel? Isn't it great? Now that's a benefit. It's therapy for Ed. It's great. I went out by Yvonne for my birthday last year. She's surprised. We went out to the little place, our favorite place. We got a place called the original Taco House in Portland. I've been there since we've been dating, which is about 33, 34 years. I still date her. Today's another date. That's a good thing, guys. Pick up on it quick. I went to a speech once and heard this guy talk, and he said, "Tell your wife every day you love her before somebody else does." Wisdom in that. My wife didn't hear her father say he loved her until she was over 40 years old. And when it happened, it was a very emotional moment. But we need to make sure that we say we love our loved ones all the time. We need to cement that in there. Where was I going with that? Motorcycles. Oh, yeah. Woo! I love motorcycles. Taco House. Last January 25th, a year ago. So the Taco House is lunchtime. We're on our way back home. And right on the way home on 28th and Holgate in Portland, there's a place called Matthew's Memory Lane. Ever seen it? Anybody? It's all old cars. Old stuff. And right out front, she's such a schemer and a plotter. She'd already done it. Because one of my dream cars since I was a kid was right in the front. She planned it to have me drive by. And there it was. She'd already bought it. This 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner with a 426 heavy. Pure power. Now, that's a feature. A 426 Hemi with positive traction, blah, 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 blah. But the benefit is a rush beyond imagination when you punch the gas pedal. 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. Faster than most sports cars. You just haven't lived to just punch one of those things. But see, that turns me on. They do nothing for you, but until you decide some things in your life that will turn your crank and will get you out the door every single day to find your dreams and your goals and your purpose in life, you're going to stay dormant. Before you go to bed tonight, I've done this all over the world in the last 11 years. Before you go to sleep tonight, if you're married, you sit down with your spouse. You're not. Makes it quicker. You don't have to ask anybody anything. You sit down and you decide on 5 things that turn your crank besides the noble things. And I love the noble things. Please don't get me wrong. I do. But what in your life is going to turn your crank financially? What is it? Discover some things. Get into your mind. Figure some things out that will drive you out that door every single day. It's very important. It is. You know, I would be blessed beyond imagination. I already have been, but most of you aren't in our group. And so every time I come up here, I love talking to you because it doesn't matter if you quit up. But I want to be there when Chuck and Claudia go across the stage as Royal Diamonds, don't you? I want to be there when M. Junior cross there as Royal Diamonds, don't you? I want to be there when every single one of you are standing up here flapping your jaws like I'm doing. Because this is so simple. This is frighteningly simple. We're just not doing it. Now some of you are, and I commend you for it. The rest of you, it's time. If you don't do this right now, I guarantee you'll look back a few years ago, oh, it's not a V8 either. Oh, should have done it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know what? Because it's not about money for us anymore. No, our goal is $500,000 a month. That's our goal. We could live on that. You know, I got to tell you one quick story and we'll get out. I promise Ed we'll leave. I promise. We were at the Diamond Blitz last week and Vance Rogers. I just love that little guy. He's so funny. He's running around to all the diamonds in the room, and he's asking what their check was the month before. And then he got everybody to me, what was yours, and blah, blah. And then he averaged them all out. Then he got up there and he said, hey, you guys all realize that the average one of these people that are diamonds in this room with us this weekend, I think it was $55,000 a month or something like that on average. $55,000 a month? And I get up being very brash and in the mood, kind of like I am right now. It's my group now, right? I said, I don't know how those guys live on that. Isn't that terrible? And there was a lady right behind Yvonne sitting in the back of the room and said, I don't believe that. And Yvonne turns around and says, well, it's true. She says, yeah, but anybody can make that. You can go out and make a check on your computer. She was very negative. And you know what? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter at all. What matters is what do you want? And what are you willing to do to get what you want? Now, I ain't drawn out any plans how to go silver this month if you're not one. But you know what? There's not anybody in here who could go $20,000 by next week. There's nobody who couldn't do that. We did $40,000 in 8 days. Why can't you do $20,000 in 8 days? There is no excuse if you want to do it. Now, if you run really hard and you miss it, hoo-hoo. You got a great bunch of momentum going, you have a great month next month. Well, why wait till next month to get started? Right? It's about getting momentum. When do you start gaining momentum? Today, now, boom. Go and call somebody. I've got a list. You're not going to believe this probably, but I've got a list in the car. I mean, I got a 3-hour drive ahead of me. I got a list in the car and a car phone. I'm going to call a bunch of people on the way home. Now, most of them are already in the business, but half of them are new. And I'm going to call and say, hey, how you doing? You excited? Everything okay? Oh, somebody ran over your cat. Like that? That was really good, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't understand. Anyway, my mind is like all over the place right now. I'm so excited. You've never had any better than you have it right now. It's better than it was 11 years ago. It's better than it was 2 years ago. It's better than it's ever been, period. And now's the time, if you consider yourself a leader, to get back after it. You've been in this business a while, go do some more. Don't tell people what to do. Go do it yourself. See, we all get caught in that trap as leaders in the business. Well, here's what you need to do, and here's what you need. Have I told you what to do yet? Except go talk to a bunch of people. Go create a huge mess. And then call Ed and Chuck and Claudia, and they'll fix it for you. See, a lot of people, you will never, ever regret it. Never. This is so much fun. You know, what a God send people. I don't care what your beliefs are. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But you know what? I have a feeling that this thing was sent to us for a reason. And we're changing the world. Big time. Huge. And you can be a participant or you can watch. What would you rather do? Let's play to win. You know what? And someone could take some of you longer than others. So what? Big deal. If you do what we've done for the last 11 years, you'll be ahead of us. It's kind of exciting. Even if you're not in my group. I get paid other ways. I love being with you guys. I really do. This is an honor and a privilege. I thank you for inviting me up. But you know what? It's in your hands. Whoever brought you here, if you're new, needs to get with you. We'll want to get with you and sit down with you and map out a plan. If you're not silver, get with your active upline right now and plan it out. Let's get it done. Let's break 100 silvers here in the next couple of months. What do you think? Let's make the Northwest United States, Portland, Seattle. Let's go just kick some Major League fanning and have some fun. What do you think? All right? Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great time.